So in this video, we are doing the Wireshark Lab of network address translation. So network address translation is a technique used in the computer networking to remap IP addresses, and it play a crucial role in a connecting device of a different network and providing various benefits. So it has some basic tips. What uh, NAT. It is a technique that allows multiple devices to share a single IP address, enabling them to access the internet. How does it work? NAT translates private IP addresses used within a local network into public IP addresses used on the internet. And why mask port numbers? The masking port numbers allow multiple devices on a local network to communicate with the internet using the same IP addresses. So what type addresses have NAT? So first, inside local address, inside global net address, outside local address, and outside global address. Okay. So NAT type, static NAT, dynamic NAT, and port address translation. So in static, a one-to-one mapping is created between private IP address and a public IP address. Dynamic, it allows the multiple private IP address to be transformed in the pool of a public addresses. That mapping is dynamic and changes when needed. And last, we have a port address translation. PAT, also known as NAPT, uses single public address and different port numbers to handle multiple private addresses. What are the advantages of NAT? Which have enhanced security, address conservations, and network flexibility. What are disadvantages of NAT is communication limitation, performance impact, and complex network configuration. So in this NAT Wireshark Lab, we investigate the behavior of NAT protocol. Okay, we have to capture the trace file in a single Wireshark measurement point. Okay, in this measurement scenario, we have to capture from both side of ISP network and home network. Both side we have to capture. For this, we have needed two computers, but I don't have two computers, so I am using the trace files which are given here. As you can see here, so I am using these trace files for this lab. Okay, so see, we have to collect the both, and we have to answer these things. So the Wireshark trace file captured on a ISP side is known as, also in a trace section, is NAT ISP side, and also have NAT home side. Okay, and whenever possible, when answering a question below, you have to handle a printout of a packet. Okay, so it is a thing that we have to see all these things. So let's start with the questions. So for which starting, we have to go to our trace file. So I am just opening the trace files. So we have to go to the home site trace file. So here it is. So I have to double click on it, and it is opening it here. Okay. So now we have asked the question. The first question is, what is the IP address of a client? For seeing this, we go to this standard query, and as you can see here, source, it is the client IP address 192.168.1.10, or you can also see here from the IP protocol section, go break down here, and the source address. Here it is also linking the writing the 192.168.1.100. Okay, now the second line. Now the second line is the client actually communicate with the several different Google servers in order to implement safe browsing. Okay, so the main browser server will serve up the main Google web pages if the IP address of this, in order to display only those frames containing HTTP message by sent to or from this Google server. We have to enter this on filter. So we have to just copy it, okay, and paste it on the filter section and enter. As you can see, it is filtering out all the things. Okay. So now the question is, consider now the HTTP get sent from a client to Google server. Okay, so here it is get HTTP, uh, where the IP address is 64. Okay, so here is the IP address is 64 at the time of 7170926. So here it is. Okay. So what is the source and destination IP addresses first? So for which we go to the Internet Protocol section, and the source address is 192.168.1.100, and the destination address is 64.233.19169.1404. Okay, what is the TCP source address and port? So for this we have to go to the transmission control protocol section. So we just go to here, and as you can see here, it is the source protocol of 4335, and the destination port is 80. Okay. So next question is, at what time is the corresponding 200 okay HTTP message received from the Google server, and what are the source and destination IP address and the TCP source and destination port of IP datagram carrying these HTTP 200 okay message? So we see this. So its corresponding HTTP OK 200 OK message is this. Okay. So we have to find first the source and destination IP addresses, for which again we go to the Internet Protocol section, and here as you can see the source and destination addresses. Source address is 64.233.169.104, and destination is 192.168.1.100. Okay, so next we have to see the TCP source and destination port. So in the TCP section, go, and here you can see the source port and destination port. The source port is 80 and destination port is 4325. Okay, so now the fifth question is, recall that the get command can be sent to the HTTP as TCP must be the first set of the connection using the three-way since act handshake, and at what time the client to the server TCP/X segment send and set up the connection by using the get message of this time. So we just have to cancel the filter of this thing, and we see the time here. Okay, here as you can see the time is, and which we'll get to give the TCP since. So here it is. Okay, at which time it is giving? The time is 7.075657. Okay, at this time. And next, the further question is, what are the source and destination address and the source and destination port for the TINS TCP sense segment? So for this, the source and destination address are these: 192.168.100, and the destination address is 64.233.169.104. Okay, and the destination and source ports are: source port is 4335 and destination port is 80. Okay. The further question is, what are the source and destination port and the and IP addresses and source and destination port of ACK sent in the response of SYN, for which as you can see here they give the acknowledgement. So here you can see the source and destination IP address, and the port also you can see here. Okay, at what time this app received to the client? So at the time of 7.108986, it is the time. Okay, so now if we go to the next questions.
and we'll see the
So now we have to open the net ISP site trace file. So I'm just closing this home site, and I'm just reopening the ISP side. So as you can here see, it is the ISP side. And now the question is in the NAT ISP side trace file, find the HTTP GET message. What was sent from the client to the server at the time of this? Okay, so as you can see, where the time is the time at which the send recorded in NAT, same as this. So we have to go to this time of 7.10927. So here is 7.19. I can't see here. Wait a minute. So okay, we have to compare it with these. So I'm just opening the both trace files. So I'm just consider it here. Okay, and I am filtering out the both things by entering the same filter. I have to just copy it here, copy, and I'm just entering in both side, enter, and here also I'm entering it. Okay, so as you can see, here is the at home side we have this time to equivalent to this. We have this time at the time of 6.069168. Okay, so now it is asking about that what is the source and destination IP address and TCP source and destination port of these IP datagram carrying out these HTTP GET message. Okay, so for which we see click on it and see the source and destination address by the Internet Protocol version 4 section. So here is the source and destination address. The source is 71.92 192.34.104 and the destination is 64.233.169.104. Okay, and the TCP for seeing the TCP ports, source port and destination port, we go to the transmission control protocol section, and here you can see the source port and destination port of these both things. Okay, so the further question is this: which field of these are same and which are these are different than in your answer to the question number 3 above? So as you can see, we go to the question number 3. So we have to check the both trace files, TCP source port and destination port, and Internet Protocol IP addresses of source and destination of both files. So we just open it here. As first we see the IP addresses. So the source address is changing. As you can see, the source address in the home side is 192.168.1.100, and the source address in the ISP section is 71.192.34.104. But the destination address are in both same. Okay, and now we go to the TCP ports, source port and destination port. So as you can see, the both TCP source and destination port in both trace files are same in the home side and in the ISP side. Okay, both are same. So the next question is here: are any field in HTTP GET messages is changed, or which of the following field in IP datagram carrying the HTTP GET are changed? Version, header length, flag, or checksum? Or if changed, give the answer. So we check The version, first we check the versions. So we go to the IP section and the version are not changing. Okay. So second, we have header length. So we check the header length is 20 here and 20 here also. Okay, so both are same. So next is flags. These flags are changes. So here as you can see the flags are both are don't fragment it. So the fragment is flags are also not changing. And last we go to here on checksum. So as we go to the checksum, okay, here as you can see the header checksum is changed. It is in the both file the header checksum is changed. So as we know, checksum is changing because the total things are different in the both files. So the both checksums are different. Okay. So next question is in the NAT ISP site trace file. Here it is. So I'm just for shuffling it. And at what time the first 200 OK HTTP message received from a Google server? So we have to check. It is on this. Okay, yeah, the time of 6.117570. At this time, we get the first OK HTTP 200 message. Okay, and what is the source, port, and destination and IP addresses and all these things of these things. So we go to this OK, and the source IP address and destination IP address are this 64.233.169.104 and the destination address is 71.192.34.104. Okay, and the port ports are source port are 80 and the destination port is 4335. Okay, and which field are same and which field are different from the question of this. So now we have again have to compare from the home side of this. So we first go to this. Okay, and now we have to compare. First, we compare the source address and destination address of IP. So here as you can see the source and destination address. So the source addresses are same and here the destination addresses are different. Okay, as you can see on the above side of the get message, the source addresses are different and destination is same. But in this, the source address is same and destination are different. Okay, and now we see the ports for which I am opening the port section. And here, as you can see, the ports are same in both. Source port is 80 here, and it is also 80. Destination port is 4335, and here also the 4335. Okay. Now the next question is in the NAT ISP site track file. At what time the client server TCP sends segment and TCP as corresponding or capture with the following question. So we have to check here at what time. So for which we have to clear out the filters from both section. So now I am checking it here. So again I am reading the thing. Okay, please ask me for asking TCP. So here as you can see at this time at this time. We have TCP acknowledgement and TCP since. The TCP since is here, and here also the TCP since is here, and we have to check the source and IP addresses and the boot fragmentation or which field are same or not. So, wait a minute. Okay, so now we see here the source address and destination address are here both. In these, the source addresses are different and the destination addresses are same. Okay, and the TCPs, the source ports and the destination port both are same, but the ports are 4335, 4330, and 4330. Okay, you see here. Okay, now the with the send and acknowledgement, we check both things again. So here it is also the destination addresses are changes and the ports are here is source ports are 8080 and the destination ports are 4330 and 4330. Okay, so the next question is choosing the answer your answer to 1 to 8 fill in the transcription of entry. So it is the question that we have to fill the translation table, but don't have this. So okay, this is for all these things of the NAT Wireshark Lab, and it is completed. Thank you.